What's your never again story? I was working 60-hour weeks as a junior architect, trying to prove I wasn't just another college grad who'd be gone in 6 months. When my firm picked me for this huge conference in Chicago, I felt like I'd finally made it. This was my chance to show I deserved to be there. My boss handed me the company card for the hotel, but I had this brilliant idea. If I saved the company money by booking something cheaper, maybe they'd notice. Maybe I'd get that promotion everyone was whispering about. So I found this Airbnb, a studio apartment for half the hotel price. The photos looked decent, reviews were okay. I figured I was being smart. Big mistake. I flew into Chicago Tuesday night, dead tired from cramming for my presentation. The cab dropped me off at this random apartment building around 11 p.m. I punched in the key box code from the listing. Nothing. Tried again. Still nothing. I'm standing there in the freezing cold, dragging my suitcase, looking like an idiot. After 20 minutes, this neighbor walks out and sees me messing with the key box. She goes, "Are you trying to stay at Greg's place?" I'm like, "Yeah." She shakes her head. "Honey, Greg doesn't even own that unit. He squats there sometimes. That whole listing is fake." My stomach dropped. I immediately called Airbnb, but it's past midnight and they're useless. I'm scrambling to find any hotel room in downtown Chicago at 1 a.m. before the biggest presentation of my career. Everything decent was booked or crazy expensive. I ended up at some sketchy place for $300, got maybe 2 hours of sleep. The next morning I felt like garbage. $500 poorer, running on coffee and panic. But I made it to the conference center, checked in, got my badge. The venue was massive, one of those fancy hotel ballrooms with crystal chandeliers and everything. I found my seat and started looking over my notes one last time. They announced the keynote panel, all these big real estate developers who could make or break careers. And that's when I heard a name that made my blood freeze. Please welcome David Morrison from Morrison Development Group. The guy walked onto the stage, and I knew that face instantly. It was the building owner from last night, the one who'd watched me argue with his security guard about the fake apartment, the one who thought I was part of the scam. Our eyes met across the room, and his face twisted with recognition. Not the good kind. After his talk, my boss introduced me. "David, this is Layla, our rising star. She'll be presenting our sustainable housing proposal this afternoon." David looked me up and down, then smiled this cold smile. "Didn't I just have security remove you from my building last night?" I tried to explain. The fake Airbnb, the mix-up, how I'd been scammed too. But my voice came out all shaky and defensive. I sounded guilty even though I wasn't. My boss's face went from proud to confused to mortified in about 3 seconds. He pulled me aside afterward and said, "Layla, I vouched for you. I told them you were our best young architect. You just made me look like an idiot who can't judge character." I tried explaining again, but the damage was done. Morrison Development was our biggest potential client, and now their CEO thought I was some kind of scammer who tried to break into his building. I gave my presentation to a half-empty room that afternoon. Word had already spread. I could feel people whispering, looking at me sideways. My hands shook through the whole thing. The next week back at the office was hell. My boss barely spoke to me. Colleagues who used to invite me to lunch suddenly had other plans. The promotion I'd been hoping for went to someone else.